So what you guys just heard were captures of an amazing amplifier, the Headfirst Ulta, an amp I reviewed last week. And I played those captures through both the ToneX and the Quad Cortex, and both capture packs are available on my website, tonewars.com. The link is below in the description. So if you want to get some of those captures for yourself on either one of those units, go ahead and click the link and get them. They're only $29.95 and you get a lot of amazing captures. And on the Quad Cortex, you're going to get a free preset as well, along with all the effects and scenes that you'll ever need. I played the Quad Cortex captures on Sunday night when I was live with Carrie, and man, those things are just amazing. I think that's one of the best packs I've done yet. That amp is really unique and it's got a lot of great characteristics about it, and I captured all of that on both of those units. So again, if you want to get those, go get them at my website. I really appreciate it very much. So we have a pretty packed video today. I got a lot of stuff going on here. So I went to Motor City Guitar, and thanks to them, I'm able to take a look at this EVH 5153, the Ivory model. And this is the 6L6. This is one of the first ones they released a while back. And I don't remember if I gelled with this one very well or not, but we're going to find out. So basically, I have it dialed in. Let me double check my camera settings here, make sure that it's at the best. Yep, there we go. The best focus there. So these are the settings that work best for me. I'm not going to go over the clean channel. I'm trying to make this quick. I don't want to make this a 3-hour video. So I have it dialed in just like that, and to me these are the best settings on the amplifier. And I'm boosting it with the odd box, and I'm not going to go through with and without a boost and all that because I'm trying to keep this quick again. So and I'm going to boost it anyway, so who gives a shit. So let's go ahead and play some riffs on the blue channel right now. And as you can see, I have the gain cranked. And for all the gain shamers out there, you really have to do that on this amplifier to get what you want. And I believe I have the resonance at like top dead center in the back, and then here's the rest of the tone stack here. So let's go ahead and hear some riffs on it right now in the blue channel with it boosted. Boost Karens, get ready to grab your diapers and tissues, because here we go. Okay, well, now the speaker cabinet picture's in the way, but you know what? You guys already know I'm playing it through the Mesa, so let me go ahead and turn off that picture. And there. So you know I'm playing it through the Mesa. All right, so let's mess around with the knobs just real quick and show you what you know, what it'll do in that channel. Yeah, that's a decent like classic rock gain setting, but I want more. So let's go ahead and bring it back up. Yeah, I think that's a better setting on the treble there, the high or whatever the hell. And then the presence doesn't do a whole lot until you get past noon, like the stealth. You know, I think I like this blue channel better than I remember. I used to think it was kind of cold, and I think it was on the 100 watt though. It wasn't on the 50, but this isn't bad. At first I still thought it was a little cold, but it's better than I remembered the 100 watt anyways. Not bad. It's pretty articulate. Still a little bit on the just enough kind of gain side for me, and I could use a little more fire, you know, a little more heat. If that makes sense. It is a tad cold, but not too bad. But, you know, sounds pretty good. And let's go ahead and just play a stupid riff on it now. This is a new riff I'm working on, so I'll be using it a lot in my videos coming up here because I want to perfect it. Yeah, not bad. There's some weird noise on the top end that's bugging me just a little bit, but I don't know, maybe it's the highs. Let me bring the highs back down, see if that fixes it. Yeah, I think that fixed it a little bit. It was just a little too aggressive, you know. But so that's the blue channel. So I like it better than I remembered, like I said. Still not my favorite blue channel out of all the EVHs. I like the Stealth 100 better. It's thicker and warmer. But let's switch from this to the red channel now and see what the difference is. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more gain here. I think it's probably got 2 to 3 more gain stages. I'm just guessing. I don't freaking know, but I like this channel a lot better. So if I owned this amp, I would probably just stay on the red channel the whole time. Again, I don't hate the blue channel, but I just slightly prefer the red channel. So let's do that same riff on this and see what it sounds like. Yeah, the feel is a little bit better on that as well. If you're going to boost this amp, you want to use the odd box too. It's thicker and fuller. This is a pretty sculpted amp, so using the mud killer, oh, it just didn't blend with it very well. I'll show you that real quick and then we'll move on to the rest of the video here. So no boost right now, and then I'll engage the mud killer, and then when you see me reach down again, I'll switch from the mud killer to the odd box. Okay, so here's what I noticed. I had the tone knob cranked on the Mud Killer when I was in sound check, and maybe that's why it sounded really bad with with this amp. It sounded better this time than it did before because I got the tone knob back to noon. But that said, I still prefer the Oddbox with it. It's just a little thicker and fuller and a little bit warmer with it. But the Mud Killer might not be a bad pedal with this after all, because like I said, I had it dialed in. I just noticed when I turned it on, I'm like, oh my God, I got the tone knob cranked. I must have been playing a darker amp before with it. So yeah, I think both of them sound good, but I still prefer the Oddbox with it. So anyway, so let's go ahead and just do a quick basic bitch mix with this thing and just see what it sounds like in a mix. And I'm gonna be on the red channel. Well, there you have it. And if you're interested in this amp, Motor City has it right now. It's used, but they're selling it for $825, and they ship anywhere in the continental U.S. And if you buy outside of the state of Michigan, as of right now, you don't have to pay any sales tax. So you get a really good deal on either this amp or anything else that you want to buy there. So if you got some gas going on and you want to buy some gear, they're a great store. Great people, and they have a lot of awesome gear there. And again, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the demos that I do for you guys on this channel. They support the channel, and the owner, Marty's a great guy, and he lets me take home stuff so I can demo it for you guys. So do me a favor and use my affiliate link in the description below. It says Shop at Motor City Guitar here. Click on that and buy whatever you want, and I get a little kickback, and you get an awesome deal on a piece of gear, and you help out the store as well. So I really appreciate any help I can get. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get on with the comments now. This first comment is from Shred Knight BRI. And this is on my video I did of the PRS guitar. I think it was the 499 guitar, the SECE or something like that. And he said, the only thing I don't like about that guitar is the placement of the pickup switch. You know, I have to agree. It's kind of like when you have a car and they put the blinker switch in the glove box. So every time you have to hit your blinker, you got to lean over and open your glove box and hit it. And I love my pickup selector right where it's at, right underneath the pickups here and in between them, and slightly to the towards the bridge pickup. It's out of the way, but close enough to where I can reach it if I need to. And I switch pickups a lot, a ton, so that those ergonomics really help me out big time, and I prefer them there. Some other people don't switch pickups that much, and it doesn't matter to them, so to each their own, you know. And the other thing that I don't like too is when you got the whammy bar here and you got the pickup selector back here, you got to kind of jump over the whammy bar to get to it, you know, or you got to have the whammy bar in a weird spot. So it's just, you know, I like my guitars set up a certain way, and obviously John Petrucci does too. It's a SIG model, and I did the same setup with my Kiesel as well. So, you know, to each their own, but I like everything very accessible, and that way I can utilize all of the different features on the guitar, and it's not a pain in the ass to get to things. So tell me what you think about ergonomics. Do they really matter to you? Do you switch your pickups a lot, or doesn't it really matter to you at all? Let me know in the comment section below. So this next comment is from my Headfirst Ulta first impressions video I did the other day. This is from Matt Smith 8515. He said, "Don't be a boost, Karen. Seriously, you're making your life unnecessarily difficult. I purchased a mud killer on Jarrod's recommendation and couldn't be happier." Awesome, dude. Thanks so much for commenting on the video. I really appreciate it. And you're right, man. These boost Karens suck. You know, it's one thing to not use a boost. It's fine, you know, if you don't want to use one. But some of these boost Karens that go around telling everybody that they shouldn't use a boost, and if they do, they're doing it wrong. They're dialing in the amp wrong, or they got the wrong amp, or they suck as a player, or whatever. I hate that stuff so much. And it's just not something that is healthy for the community. I mean, in my opinion, use whatever you want, or don't use whatever you don't want to use. Use what works best for you, and be a trailblazer. Do something amazing with whatever it is that you have, and blaze your new trail and show people how you can do things your way. And that's how a lot of guitar players become like these highly sought after players and highly followed players. They do things their own way and come up with their own way of doing things, whether it's conventional or unconventional. Either way, they blaze their own trail, like, you know, guys like George Lynch, Eddie Van Halen, John Petrucci, Yngwie Malmsteen, like all these guys. I mean, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But they all blaze their own trail, and they have their own signature sound and signature way of doing things. And they did it by just keeping their mouth shut and just doing what works best for them. So if we all did that for ourselves, I think we'd all be a lot happier and probably a lot more successful with our guitar playing. Anyways, thanks for commenting, Matthew. I really appreciate it very much. And yes, the Boost Karen shirt is coming. I will be working on that soon. I can't wait to make that one. So this is another comment from my Headfirst Ulta First Impressions video. This is from Clyde Williams. He said, "Man, I really dig how you do your videos. You do a wonderful job communicating what you're hearing and what adjustments you think you're about to do, and then letting the guitar ring out while you make the adjustments. Very cool. Thank you for bringing the content the way you do." Well, thank you, man. Made my day. I really appreciate that. You know, sometimes I wonder if I'm annoying. You know, I'm like trying to play some chords and I'm ringing them out and turning the knobs, and if you could see the bubble on top of my head, it would probably say something like, people are probably so sick of me playing this riff, or you know, hearing the guitar feeding back or ringing out or whatever. But I'm just doing the best I can, you know, and turning the knobs and doing my thing. I'm trying to give you guys the experience, like the legit organic experience that any of us would have dialing in an amp. You know, that's what we all do. We kind of play a few chords and some riffs, and we have our go-to riffs. We have our, I call our tire kicking riffs. We're looking for things. That's why, honestly, I play the riffs that I do. There's a reason for them. I'm not trying to entertain anybody. I'm looking for things. That's why I do chords. That's why I do the little fast little riffs and open chords, and I get all the strings, you know. You know, I do all that stuff because I'm looking for note separation, if I can hear all the notes, if I can hear all the strings ringing out, what kind of sustain it has. And then when I'm doing the, you know, the pinch harmonics and the stupid little runs that I'm doing and the riffs and the palm muting, I'm looking for tightness, articulation, I'm looking for feel. There's all these little things that I'm looking for, and I get kind of repetitive with it, but it's because I'm looking for something. And I'm going to keep turning the knobs until the amp gives me what I want, or I discover that it can't. And we all do it. All of us do it. You know, I remember seeing Michael Sweet from Striper dialing in his amp at a venue out here when we were opening for him, and he did the same thing. He's like walking up to his amp, you know, doing the thing, you know, ringing out the chords and playing the same riff over and over again. And I'm sitting there going, I get it. I know exactly what he's doing. He's looking for what he needs out of that amp in that room so he can perform properly and feel comfortable with his sound, you know. So I'm trying to do that when I'm doing these videos as well. So I appreciate that you, you know, pointed all that out and noticed that. And I appreciate that you appreciate it. So thank you very much. Okay, so this is a comment that I got from my Headrush Prime First Impressions video. And this is from TeleUser. He says, somehow I knew the tone would be heavily distorted. Well, dude, I think just by maybe looking at me and looking at my logos and the name of the channel and that kind of stuff, I mean, you probably figure out that I'm a metal player. I play these types of guitars. And by your name, I could tell already. What's your name? TeleUser. So by your name, I could tell you're probably either blues, country, classic rock kind of stuff, which nothing wrong with that. But that's kind of, you know, a giveaway there. So sorry I didn't play the kind of style of music that you wanted me to play, but that's just what I do. And the thing is I stay in my lane. I stick with what I know. I'm not going to pretend to know what blues players or country players like in an amplifier or a modeler, because I don't know. I mean, it's like a vegan cooking a steak for somebody. I mean, how do they even know how to season it? They don't taste it. They don't eat it. They don't know what people want. So no disrespect to vegans, but you know what I'm saying? You know, I think if I stay in my lane, I'll probably be a lot more successful on the channel, and I won't look like an idiot. I do that enough on my own. You know, I don't need to branch out and look like an idiot in more ways. So, but anyways, I'm glad you watched the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. So thanks for commenting. This next comment is from Murray Guitar Pickups 9545, and this is on my Headfirst Ultra First Impressions video. Boy, I'm getting a lot of comments on that one. So he said, Jason is an absolute master of his craft and a gentleman to deal with. He should sell thousands of these beasts. Well, thanks for commenting, dude, and I'm glad you watched the video and enjoyed that. And you're right, Jason seems like a really cool guy, and I haven't talked to him yet, but I've seen a lot of his videos, and he seems pretty cool in his videos, and I've heard good things about him. So I like the amp. I think the amp was really good. It was unique. It was different, and I think it's one of those standout amps that's worth having. I like the features. I like the fact that you have all those different switches and everything and options where you can go vintage or modern mode on it. There's higher and lower gain settings you can do, different voicings, and the fact that it's programmable and that it's MIDI. And it has 3 really good channels on it. I think there's a lot going for it. And I hope they sell a ton of them, because it is a really good amp, and it was actually a pleasure playing through the amplifier. I mean, it's not like we see those every day here in the States. I mean, a Headfirst Ulta is kind of a unicorn over here. That's one of the things I love about having this channel, is I get to experience all this different gear all the time, and it's a lot of fun. Hopefully he's got some other gear coming down the pipe pretty soon as well, and if he does, I'll be sure to check it out. All right, this next comment is from Chance LFD. And he said, I'm embarrassed to say I just got a Mark VII yesterday, and I can't get it to chug or sound like I've heard it sound on 100 different reviews. The cab I got was a Friedman 212 with vintage 30s in it. I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe the cab is part of the issue. It was the only cab available, but I can take it back and order a Mesa cab. Well, I'm glad you watched the video and you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you got the Mark VII. It is a good amp. I don't know why you're having trouble with it. I've heard great things about the Friedman cabs. I really have, and it's got vintage 30s, but they're not voiced like the Mesa vintage 30s, so that might be part of the problem. I don't know, but I've never heard that Friedman cabs sound thin or whatever. I've always heard good things about them, so I don't know if it's that. I wonder if you're not boosting it with the right boost, or if you are, maybe the settings might be a little off, and I say this with all due respect. I'm not trying to judge you or anything like that, but the thing is with the Mark amps is they are a bit of a puzzle at first. and it takes a minute to figure out what works best with them. And some people turn the bass all the way down in the tone stack. I put a little bit in there, and make sure you start out with the V formation, you know, in the graphic EQ, and nudge the mids up a little bit. And those graphic EQ things are freaking really touchy, so don't move them around too much. A little at a time, you know, and you'll find the sweet spot. But I'll go ahead and fire up the JP right now, which it has that circuit in that amp, and I thought it sounded great. I mean, I don't have the Mark VII here, so I wish I did, but the JP sounded pretty much exactly like it when I had it in the 2C mode. So I'll just play a couple riffs for you on it and show you that it sounds amazing, and I'll put a picture of the settings up. Maybe that'll help you out. Yeah, I think it sounds freaking phenomenal. Plenty of thump, plenty of low end. That's one thing I can say about Mark amps. You're never not going to have enough low end in them. I mean, usually you're taming it, and it's really tight and punchy and articulate. So I would check your tubes. I don't know. Just double check your settings, line them up with the picture I'm posting here on the video. And like I said, make sure that you are using the right overdrive. I used it with the Oddbox, but I think the Mudkiller sounds good with it as well. So I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss as to why you're not getting the thump. Oh, one more thing. Are the casters still on your cab? Because if the casters are still on your cab, that's the culprit right there. Take the casters off, connect the cab to the floor with the feet on the cab, and you're going to get that thump that you're probably missing. So yeah, consider that as well. That's one of the biggest issues that people have with their cabs and their amps is they put it on the floor, they leave the casters on it, and they're like, man, where's all the low end at? Well, it's there's no connection between the cab and the floor. That's where your low end is missing. So yeah, make sure you connect that to your floor and you'll be good. Well, guys, that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank everyone who's been purchasing the preset and capture packs from my website for the KEMPER, Quad Cortex, and the ToneX. The Headfirst Ulta presets are flying off the shelves, and I very much appreciate it. I've been getting some really good feedback on them, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying them. So thank you guys so much for doing that. It really does go a long way to support the channel, but it also supports your amazing tone searching and all that as well, and I hope you find these very inspiring to play through. I know I did. I had a lot of fun playing through them the other night. So again, thank you guys very much. To all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, because I got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.